Hello everybody, welcome back to this post. And today we're doing the lore of the Apex games. This is something I actually wanted to tackle for a little bit now. It's just an interesting topic because it ties into both Apex and Titanfall 2 since they're like Titanfall games. So I'm like, hey, why not do this? So grab your squad, grab your R301, and let's dive.
If you don't know what Apex Legends is, you could watch my previous videos on the game, or I'll just give you a brief summary. Apex Legends is a 3-player battle royale that takes place in the Titanfall universe, and that's basically the quickest and easiest summary I can give you. Apex Legends takes approximately, or roughly, 30 years after the ending of Titanfall 2, and after the IMC and militia disappear, basically into the void and all that of space. Or just the IMC does, but militia just falls apart. At the moment of the first, here's what we know, because from the Apex Cinematic trailer, the first season that we play as in season 1. In the Titanfall universe, it's the 139th season of Apex in the Apex Legends / Titanfall universe. As I said earlier, the Apex Legends takes place after the IMC and militia disappeared after the Frontier Wars. After the IMC and militia left the Frontier, they took all the goods, basically all the good materials that they had brought to help the Frontier grow and all that, away from them. And everything was just gone. The citizens had nothing left after the war. After the war, nothing to do because they helped each side grow. So some citizens began to leave the Frontier and go to the Outlands. The Outlands are a group of solar systems that have no rules, and it's basically very dangerous. The people who live out there are mercenaries and bounty hunters. Since there's nothing really in the Frontiers, people began to move to Outlands, and this brought a huge number of refugees into the Outland area, even though it's like a very dangerous place full of chaos and all that. So this raised a lot of problems. So the mercenary syndicate, which was basically the militia in the Titanfall 2 universe, because if you didn't know, the militia was just formed of criminals, mercenaries, all that kind of stuff, to have a dogfight against the IMC after they came back to basically rule over the Frontier. And the Syndicate put together the Apex games to basically have some sort of order. And it was the chairman of the Apex games was a man named Cuban Bliss. If that name rings a bell, he was from the Titanfall 2 campaign, and he was the head mercenary of the Apex Predators. Don't forget about that. That comes back later in my theories, because we don't really know that much. The fun fact: the first group of games that we know about at the time took place on Gibraltar and Mirage's homeworld. The Apex games went to King's Canyon from when we were playing King's Canyon, and then to World's Edge after Crypto destroyed the repulsor, which kept the mobs, basically wildlife off the island. Alright, now into my theory. So we know Blisk is the head of the chairman of the Apex Games, and that the Syndicate made him basically into that, the chairman. But I feel like he has another motivation to basically become the head. So we know he was the head of the Apex Predators, and we know that all those Apex Predators died in the Titanfall 2 campaign after they were all killed and all that. So I'm thinking, hey, in ranked and all that, so if you become max level in ranked, that's called Apex Predator. My guess that Cuban Blisk is looking for new Apex Predators to basically fill in the ranks after he lost like everyone after Jack and BT killed them all. So I'm like, that makes sense. I'm like, hey, it makes sense that Cuban's trying to find like the winners of each match in Apex Predators. They basically get chosen to become an Apex Predator, because we saw that Jack Cooper became an Apex Predator, at the end of Titanfall 2. So I'm like, nah, makes sense. Yeah. That's basically it from, because Apex Legends doesn't have a lot of lore and all that. So I'm like, alright, I want to do this. I thought this would be interesting. Alright. Hope you guys are staying safe and all that. It's tough right now. And have a good life, don't die. See you next time on Ghost.